It's been about a week at the time of this recording since the new Shonen Jump app launched, and I can't say that I really have like a ton of thoughts on it so far. I've basically been using it to like because at the time of this recording, I'm basically about 2 chapters behind on basically everything, which is still better than where I was like a month ago. So I'm not entirely caught up yet, but I'm getting there. Like I'll definitely be caught up in time for our best of manga episode.
I will say that I have been having some troubles with the app in that, when I try to stream manga feature, like, internet can be pretty inconsistent. So, when you are in a place that doesn't have great internet, it'll be a real pain to have chapters load sometimes. And it's also, also hard to download chapters when you're in a place that doesn't have so great internet, because it's not very, I found that the app isn't super responsive when you click on the download button. And like, sometimes you have to like press on it. It takes a while before it like kind of locks and gives that, visual signal that, oh, here the chapter is downloading. Because sometimes I'm pressing the download button and it doesn't like do anything. So I'm wondering, is this chapter downloading? Do I have to do this again? So I think the responsiveness could be improved a little bit. And then when I check my downloads, sometimes it takes a while for the download to show up in my downloads section. So I'm like, oh, I guess I have to wait a little bit. So there's some lag, I feel. Also, like when I am like flipping through pages when I'm just streaming them, there's also some kind of like lag when I'm like just using, my touch screen to like flip through a page. Sometimes it kind of gets stuck, or like it's not like before when I was reading stuff on the Wiz app, like I could just like flick and it's immediate, very quick, gratifying, like immediately the page like transitions into the next page, immediate flip. But like now it's kind of like you have to drag it in order for that flip to happen. It's like kind of more slow. So I don't know if those are issues just with my phone. Maybe I have to get my phone updated a little bit. I don't know.
I was going to say, because I haven't had much trouble with the app as far as that goes. Like, the app's been pretty responsive on my end, thankfully. See, now that you mentioned it, I'll have to, like, go back and look, because, like, I know what you're saying in terms of like flipping the page, because like I remember being able to like, flip through manga on the Viz and Shonen Jump apps just fine. It's very quick. But like now that you say that, I'm actually trying to think back, and I'm trying to think back on like the time this week I've used the app and trying to wonder like, is it acting slower? Do I actually have to like pull back? I'll have to like go back and double check that, because because now that you say that, I feel like I might have had that issue too.
Also, when I've tried to read like my old Shonen Jump issues, the magazine issues, the feature to like jump ahead in the table of contents, to a particular series no longer seems to work with this, new update on the app. Before, if you were reading the Shonen Jump magazine issues on the app, you could click in the table of contents to whichever series you want to read. So Now that feature doesn't work when you go to read your back issues, which isn't, a problem going forward with, the new stuff, since there's no magazine anymore. But it is kind of unfortunate when I'm trying to go back into the back issues. I can't like immediately do that.
See, that's interesting, because, I've caught up with the magazine issues at this point. And while I was reading, like, cause, the issues had this cool feature where like, if you pressed on the to be continued section of the page, it'll take you back to the table of contents. And as far as that goes, that's been working for me. And I'm kind of going through the app real quick just to see if basically if I could jump to a series without actually like flipping through the page. And it seems to be working for me just fine. So that's really interesting that you're having issues with that. So here's another. Do you
have your issues downloaded, or are you streaming them? Because maybe it's just an issue with streaming the issues that doesn't work.
I was gonna say I have my issues downloaded, but also something I wanted to ask was like, I've been using the app through the iOS. Is that what you're using, or do you have an Android phone?
I have an Apple iOS. So,
okay, because I just realized that's probably worth mentioning, like what we're actually running our apps on too. So So that's interesting that you're having issues with that. It's probably because I have them downloaded that I can still do it, but like, yeah, otherwise I'm not sure what the issue would be.
It must be something related to, like, I tried to stream the issue and it wasn't downloaded, so maybe it doesn't work if you try to stream it.
Yeah, I'm kind of deleting my my app right now to see if yeah, that's it. I just deleted an issue and I'm streaming it right now. And yeah, like I've lost all ability to just jump to a series. So yeah, that's basically it.
I also know that with large files like those issues, those are also a lot slower running when you're trying to stream them, to flip through, and they can have more like problems with lag and loading.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, outside of that, I mean, I think this is one of those things where like, I don't know, I probably have better internet consistently as far as this stuff goes, so I haven't really had much issue like loading the app or anything. Unfortunately, like I haven't gotten the chance to like read any like backlog titles at all. I really want to get to that sometime in the next couple of weeks or so. Really, the only thing I kind of wish the app had was like, and I've seen a few people, kind of suggest this or make the complaint that like, there's no feature on the app that kind of helps you, that basically helps the reader like, remember like what place in a series they stopped reading, like as far as chapter goes, like, oh, what chapter did I stop at, or where do I need to continue from? And I hope that's something that like Jeff, if you're listening, I hope that's something that maybe the app developers kind of look into, is maybe like some sort of queue feature. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, I think that would be really helpful for people like us who are reading multiple series. In some cases, like everything that Jump is running. So, just to kind of help keep track of like, and for backlog titles too, just to like a tracker to help keep track of like, where we're at in a series, I think would be a great feature to add to the app if it's possible.
Yeah, and also if you exit out of a series, it doesn't immediately take you back to like the front page. Like you're just gonna stay on like maybe the series page, because I know that's kind of annoying to like navigate back to the series you're reading on if you exit out of a chapter.
Yeah. Otherwise, my experience with the app has been, I mean, obviously, like, when this thing first launched, it's gonna have its bugs, and we understand that. So it's not gonna be perfect, but I think so far I think we really got to give it to Jeff. Like, he's been so responsive to people who have been having trouble with the apps, and he's been very good about keeping people updated on on all the bug fixes he's been kind of making to the app. And like, especially when the app launched, like, he was so helpful with everybody trying to use it and everything. And I think we got to give a big shout out to Jeff. Like, he was the real MVP of Shonen Jump Christmas, as I like to call it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's been extremely vocal about it. He was like very, active when the launch was happening, about all the issues, about all the progress. And even though he was explaining things that apparently he shouldn't have been, and so we had to stop his thread of like all the questions he was answering. But yeah, he has been extremely helpful, and he really, really helped into making this the best experience possible for everyone.
Yeah, so Jeff, if you're listening, thank you for all your help. You've seriously been a huge help.
Just a few other things about the app that I want to address is that I've heard complaints from Android users that they don't have a search function in their version of the app to navigate the series. So that's probably something that should be added to that too, because it is in the iOS, but not in the Android, it seems. And also, one thing that I found interesting is that when the app launched, Hell's Paradise was in the app. You could read it. But now, by the time of this recording, it's gone. So I wonder what happened with that.
See, I knew I wasn't crazy.
Yeah, I knew I saw it in there, man.
Damn it!
I don't know what happened. Like, they tried to put it on the app, but like Apple or someone told them to take it off. Or
God damn it, Apple!
Yeah, but for a very brief period, Hell's Paradise was on the app at launch, and now it's not there anymore. So I guess they're still working through that. But it's definitely unfortunate, because I was hoping I could download it and read it all on my flight, that I have going for the holidays. But now I guess I can't. I'm gonna have to read it on the browser. But yeah, it's very,
see,
very
that annoyed the shit out of me, because I remembered seeing it on there. But then, a couple of days later, I thought, okay, because I did what you wanted. I wanted to download a couple of chapters in case I had time to read at work or something in my downtime. But, I tried to go find it, and it's suddenly not there anymore. And, I'm just sitting here wondering, was it ever there to begin with? I was really questioning reality there for a good, 5-10 minutes before work. So I totally didn't feel crazy at all. God, Apple, I hate you. Come on. Let us read Jigoku Raku on the Shonen Jump app. That's all I want.
Yeah,
God.
I know they're still troubleshooting through those issues, so hopefully eventually they'll figure it out and people will be able to read mature titles like Jigoku Raku on the app.
I hope so. I really hope so.
But hey, at least it is on the browser. It is a part of the vault, so you can go through all those. But speaking of just the vault in general, what do you think about the selection? What do you think about some of the omissions that are in the vault?
Oh, yeah. I guess I totally forgot we probably should talk about that. I think the vault, for what they have available now, is fine. There's still series on there that I want to read, but, it feels like I've already read a lot of series on the vault personally. Basically it feels like half the series I've already read or caught up on, while the other half is still stuff that I still haven't checked out fully and I still want to read, so that's good. So for me personally, there's still a pretty good selection. I'm kind of bummed personally, and I'm sure they'll be added eventually, but I'm kind of surprised that One Punch Man isn't available. And I know before anybody ats us or anything saying it's not technically Jump because it doesn't run in the Japanese Jump, but it was still a part of Viz's Weekly Shonen Jump. So I would think that they'd still be simulpublishing it. So I'm not sure why that wasn't included with the Simulpubs. I find that kind of weird. I hope those come back because, man, not to give anything away, but I've really been loving One Punch Man this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got questions about that on the latest Shonen Jump podcast, and their answer to why One Punch Man and Hunter x Hunter aren't there is basically, they're working on it. So hopefully, eventually, stuff, they will get added in.
I was just surprised by One Punch Man in particular because that was something that they were simultaneously, releasing in English, so.
Yeah. And the same is true for Hunter x Hunter, which is also a conspicuous absence. Both Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho aren't on here, even though they're both digitally available.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Hunter x Hunter, I guess, when it, it's not always in the magazine, but it's still a part of the Simulpubs, so I guess it is kind of weird that that's not in there. Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm sure will probably be added at some point. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter, I was kind of disappointed in because, I've only ever read, the first 8 volumes of Hunter x Hunter, and then, I've been pretty much been keeping up with it past the anime, so, I kind of want to read all of Hunter x Hunter at some point. But no, yeah, I can't think of, too many other titles that, I really wish were on the app. I'm hoping stuff that doesn't have a digital release, like iShield 21, maybe will be added soon. Stuff that, I talked about this on the show a couple episodes ago, weird exceptions like iShield 21 and Slam Dunk and Gintama. I hope stuff like that can make it on the app at some point. But again, some of those are weird exceptions and we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying that they want to make everything they have under the Shonen Jump imprint available, but, there's going to be all sorts of, I'm sure, problems to troubleshoot. And with Slam Dunk in particular, there isn't a digital version of Slam Dunk in Japan even. So
yeah, so that one might be a pipe dream for now.
I mean, personally, I'm just hoping for everything under the Jump imprint to be added there eventually. I want Hoshin Engi in there.
Yeah, I want that too.
I want Saint Seiya in there. I mean, I have all the Saint Seiya for me to read whenever I want, but I want that in there for other people, to check it out.
Yeah, I'm just glad that, it seems like they want to put everything they have on there in the vault. Like, I'm glad that they're being that ambitious. I really appreciate that. Just as somebody who, you know, like, I'm already getting so much content. I kind of feel bad for wanting more because, like, there's still so much on there that, like, that I'm not going to get to reading for a while. Like, I still have stuff like Siren and Muyo and Roji, Prince of Tennis, other stuff that I can't think of at the top of my head. Hell, like, hopefully, like, within the next year or so, like, you know, I can maybe finally we can find time to, like, you know, start seriously, like, revisiting, like, Naruto and Bleach at some point, now that we have the ability to. Like, those are two series I actually really want to revisit and do a big podcast about at some point.
Yeah.
So, you know, I still have a shit ton of stuff I can read.
There are 88 series in the vault, and, you know, just speaking for me personally, I looked through, I counted up all the ones I haven't read yet, or at least haven't completed, and there are 28 series.
Wow.
Of those 88 that I still need to check out. So I have plenty of content because I have, like, in tons of big series I haven't read yet, like Claymore, you know, and Tegami Bachi to read. So, you know, I'm pretty happy. It'll take me quite a while to get through all this already. Something I've also noticed is that some of these series in the vault don't have their complete runs in here, even though they supposedly say they do, at least on the browser. Like, Inkaku Picasso only has the first 5 chapters out of 19, which is quite odd to me. And Eld Live, even though it says that it has 64 chapters, when you actually go to it, they only have the first 41 chapters. So
that's interesting.
It seems with some of the series that they'll be adding more chapters as the volume comes out, but some of them that used to be available in the free section have been taken out now, like with those Eld Live chapters.
Yeah, that's really weird, because I know stuff like Astro Lost in Space, I know that's completely available now.
Yeah, but Astro Lost in Space, all the volumes have been released too. But with Eld Live, it still has 4 volumes to go.
Oh, man. But I mean, like, again, like I said, there are a lot of series that, like, I have already read, but for as many series as I've already read, there are just as many that I haven't. So, like, again,
yeah, I'm sure if you count them up, you'll get to a comparable number as mine. Like, if you count all those Yu-Gi-Oh spin-offs, or, like, stuff, like, even, like, the shorter stuff, like, you count all that stuff up, they add up.
I need to go back and count how many actual full series on there that I actually, like, really want to read. But I'll do that at some other point. But I guess, is there anything else we want to mention about the app?
I think that just about covers everything I wanted to discuss. You know, I haven't gotten a chance to max out my 100 chapter limit like I know some people I've seen on my timeline have been doing, mainly because, you know, I've been working full days and stuff, and now I have a vacation coming up. But hopefully, you know, next month when I have some more downtime, I hope to actually try and attempt that, max out my 100 chapter limit, try to get through some of those long series that I've been itching to read for a long time. Like Tegami Bachi, you can read the entirety of that one day. That's like just under limit, 99 chapters. I want to try that. Might download all of that and try to read it during my vacation.
Oh, man. See, the great thing for me about that 100 chapter limit is I know I'll never reach that limit unless I'm really, really, really into something. I know I'm not going to read 100 chapters in one day because I also read kind of slow, so I'll never have to worry about it.
I mean, if you're reading something action heavy without too much dialogue like Dragon Ball, I can totally see someone doing that. Like, I've seen a lot of people reading Dragon Ball through this 100 chapter limit and, you know, getting to the end of it every day, but then there's some really text-heavy series that, yeah, I don't think that you would be able to reach the end of it in one day.
Like, there's no way in hell someone's going to read 100 chapters of Bakuman, that's for sure.
Oh, no. No.
There were some days I couldn't even get through one volume, I mean. Not one chapter.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna take... I don't think you'll be able to max out the limit with Bakuman in one day.
Nope, not at all.
That takes too long to read.
Jeez. No, but yeah, I think overall my experience with the app has been pretty positive. Again, aside from a few bugs, but like I was saying earlier, like, you know, those are to be expected at launch, so I'm not really that surprised about them. And I know we have good people working behind the Shonen Jump apps, so, you know, I'm confident that the apps are just going to start functioning even better from here on out, so.
Mm-hmm. And one final cool thing I want to mention, just a little neat tip to give you guys, is that you can actually read the entirety of That Time I Got Reincarnated as Yamcha for free in this Shonen Jump vault. Because in the vault, they have the first 3 chapters of every series for free. And that time I got reincarnated as Yamcha is only 3 chapters long. So you can read the entirety of that for free on the Shonen Jump browser without having to pay for the service. So yeah, check that out.
Yeah, you should read the entirety of that and get ready for our eventual podcast about it.
Yeah, whenever that'll be.
We'll get to it, we promise.